Machine learning, the buzzword that launched 100 startups and 1,000 LinkedIn posts by the people who white coded a dark purple themed site and called it a product.
Wow. Quack.
Things like Claude, Gemini, and ChatGPT are used by many people, but most people can't explain it. And the one who can writes the paper so dense that they seem specifically designed to make you feel stupid. So by the end of this playlist, you will be completely transformed into a new person. Sorry, that's the wrong animation. So by the end of this playlist, we'll go from zero to understanding machine learning concepts, including the intuition behind it, the code, and the math. No fluff, just the real thing. So let's go. Traditional programming versus machine learning. Here is how traditional programming works. You think of every rule, you write every rule, and the computer follows them just like you at your first internship. Want to detect spam emails? Then you write the conditions like if the email contains the word free or click here, then it's spam. If the email is from your friend who goes to hackathons without informing you, definitely a spam. Thousands of rules, you write them all manually like an animal. And the moment you are done, spammers update their emails. Machine learning flips this entirely. Instead of you writing the rules, you give the computer data and the correct answers. It figures out the rules itself. For example, you give an image to the ML model and label it as an elephant, and it learns that if an animal has a huge ear, a large trunk, and a heavy body, then it's an elephant. Show it a 10,000 spam emails, show it a 10,000 normal emails, it will find patterns you'd never even think to look for and builds its own rules. That's it. That's the whole idea. You don't program the logic anymore. You program the ability to learn for the machine. Now, ML isn't a one thing. There are of three flavors, so pick your poison. The first one is supervised learning, where your data comes with correct answers attached, like an exam where someone already filled in the answer keys. House prices. You have the houses and their actual prices. Spam detection. Emails label spam or not. Cat versus dog classifier, where photos label obviously cat or dog. You supervise the learning by telling it what right looks like. Most of what we cover in this series is supervised. It's foundation of everything, like deep learning, convolution neural networks, and LLMs, all of it. Now, coming to the second one, it's unsupervised learning, where we have no levels. You just throw raw data at it and say, figure it out. Customer segmentation. Give it purchase data with zero levels. It groups customers by behavior on its own. Budget shoppers, impulse buyers, and people who only add items to the cart and imagine life after buying that. You didn't define those groups at all. It found them. Honestly, the most impressive type of ML is unsupervised learning. The machine is just out here doing detective work with no instructions. And coming to the third part, it is reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning has no data set at all. An agent takes the action, gets reward for good ones, and gets punished for the bad ones. And it learns over time. This is how the AlphaGo beat the world champion at Go. How robots learn to walk, and how your recommendation algorithm learn to recommend my videos. This series completely comprised of supervised learning. All the videos from here are to fine tuning your own LLM are based on supervised learning. So let's keep moving. So quick preview of video 2 because you need this mental model now. The machine learning has one core loop with four steps. Everything, and I mean everything from linear regression to GPT-4 runs on this single loop. The first one is where you feed the data in and model makes a prediction. The second one, check how wrong it is. We call this as the loss. Third one, figure out which direction to fix it. That's the gradient. And the last one is nudge the model. Slightly less wrong now. Repeat this 1,000 times and the model learns itself from the data we feed in. That's the whole engine. Video 2 is entirely about this loop. By the end, you will understand what every AI tutorial skips. Let me show you this isn't theoretical. ML is already running your life and you just didn't see it. For example, consider the applications Netflix. Why do you think it always knows what you want to watch at 11 p.m.? Supervised learning and unsupervised learning work together. It knows you better than you do. Google Maps, the ETA, regression model, trained on millions of trips, real time traffic, time of day, weather, not a guess. A very educated prediction. Face ID, which you use daily, a computer vision neural network trained on facial geometry. We'll actually build something like this in the CNN playlist. The ChatGPT, a large language model trained on essentially the entire internet. We get there at the end of this roadmap. So, this whole playlist takes you from understanding what ML is to all the way to building, training, and fine tuning your own models. Like, you just need to know what a graph is. That's good enough. You don't need any CS degree, prior ML knowledge. That's it. I'll teach you every formula before I use it. I'll write every line of code on the screen. If something doesn't click, comment below, I'll read them. Machine learning is not a magic. It's not mysterious. It's a machine that gets shown enough examples until it stops being wrong, just exactly like a human. Traditional programming, where you write the rules, machine learning, you show it the answers and it writes the rules itself. In video 2, we go inside the machine. How does it measure how wrong it is? How does it know which direction to improve? Loss function, gradient descent, and the loop that powers every AI system on the planet. So, this is the full roadmap of this entire series. We'll cover all these 10 topics listed here: machine learning fundamentals, deep learning, convolution neural networks, computer vision, recurrent neural networks, and long short term memory, transformer architecture and attention mechanism, generative AI, large language models and fine tuning them, and finally, retrieval augmented generation. Each of these topics will have a separate playlist of their own, which will further be divided into four parts. The first one is the intuition, where there is just no math and no code, just the concepts and the math behind the working principles, derivation and formulas. The code, where we show you the Python implementation of it, and finally the application with a real use case, and we build a full mini project in that video. So by the end of this series, you will completely understand all these 10 topics and become a machine learning expert and build any AI applications.